Dynasty Warriors 9 has taken the Dynasty Warriors series into a new direction. The game now offers a vast open-world map, newly added combat features, an organized item system, and of course, a plethora of mighty warriors to fight as. For those who are familiar with the series, you will see the return of familiar faces, reimagined locations, and the same key battles you have been playing the entire series. For some reason, it never seems to get old, even though we already know the outcome of each battle as well as the alternative storylines and what-ifs. The officers of Wei, Wu, Shu, Jin, and a few others such as the infamous Lu Bu and the yellow turban leader Zhang Zhao all return as playable characters. Each playthrough with an officer will show their perspective of key battles throughout history. With over 10 chapters to play through and over 90 officers to play as, 94 by my count, there are an endless amount of hours to be played in this game. Broken up into chapters and starting with the Yellow Turban Rebellion, you can begin the game in multiple ways. Regardless of your path, you can play as each kingdom and each of their officers. Players will also witness what the other kingdom's officers are doing as you play. Each chapter will have a main mission for the player to follow in order for them to compete and bring them further into the story. But instead of starting with that mission, players have the freedom to explore. Capturing enemy bases along the roads will allow allies to move up towards their objective faster, and taking the time to capture enemy towers and castles will weaken enemy officers by cutting off their supplies, reinforcements, and power sources. Take for example Chapter 1, Suppressing the Yellow Turbans. During exploration in my attempt to do everything I could before completing the main quest, I stumbled upon an enemy castle not too far from the main objective. Once I entered the castle, I heard an enemy officer yell, "Protect the altar," to which I responded by destroying that very same altar. As the altar was destroyed and the enemy retreated into the castle, not only did they reveal the location of a second altar in another castle, but Zhang Zhao's level dropped quite drastically, which provided me with an easier battle later in the game. This is only one example of the many things the game has to offer. Bonfires and tea houses have been added so players can rest, cook, and advance time. The game has an automatic time cycle which is broken down into morning, afternoon, evening, and night. The time of day also affects some military movement within the game. Cooking allows players to receive temporary bonuses, my favorite type of food being the legendary meatball, which increases a player's toughness and health for a long period of time. In order to cook, players will need materials and ingredients, which can be acquired in multiple ways. Players can find plants and minerals on the ground just by exploring the map. Some of these items can be found in clusters, which just means you can collect a lot of particular plant or minerals with ease. Some materials are harder to come by, but a color-coordinated system will let players know which items are common and which are harder to come by. The ability to fish, hunt, and trap has also been added to this game. This is a great way to collect materials and earn some extra gold. Players can craft or purchase weapons, accessories, and items by going to shops in each of the main cities. Combat consists of the usual hack-and-slash model with a few changes. Players will mainly use their flow attack and the reactive attack, which can be translated to light and heavy attacks. Alternative attack types can also be accessed by using a trigger button, which will allow players to use a launch, stun, knockdown, and special attack in order to enhance combat and adapt to certain situations. Another interesting feature that has been added is the ability to counter and finish off opponents. This allows combat to feel smoother, especially when transitioning between multiple enemies. Instead of waiting for that last bit of an enemy's health bar to drop to 0, when the counter icon appears, you can finish things a lot quicker. Players can also use a bow with a variety of arrow types, including dispersion and fire arrows. One of the newer features in the game that I have enjoyed has been the addition of the grappling hook. When players come into contact with a tower, wall, or building, they can use their grappling hook to quickly scale the obstacle with ease. This has personally helped me when capturing enemy castles. As my seize weapons struggle to break down the main gate, I just scale over the wall and run behind the main gate and open it for my army. This seems like cheating, but we all have places to be, people. One shortcoming is with the visuals in Dynasty Warriors 9, which needs to be improved greatly upon. The game looks like it was imported from a PS3 or Xbox 360. Basically, the visuals are average. It offers vibrant color, visible shadows, and lighting effects, but it's nothing special. I really wanted the game to have an HDR feature as well as smooth transitions and stunning cutscenes. Sometimes enemies or items will appear with a slight delay, or textures will load slowly from a gray wall into a detailed brick structure. Since this game is taking a new step in the series, I'm not upset, just slightly annoyed. The game does feature a large amount of cutscenes, quick landscape changes, and vast amounts of enemies, which all need graphical attention. So I understand the difficulty in enhancing all aspects of the game. However, this is something I would expect to be improved upon if they ever make a Dynasty Warriors 10. Besides the visuals and some minor bugs, these flaws have not stopped me from putting quite a few hours into the game. I have been playing the series since Dynasty Warriors 5, so maybe I just have a soft spot for the series. The game is going in the right direction, and I love the open world concept, the ability to enter massive towns and cities, and some of the changes to combat. That being said, the visuals bring my score of this game down quite a few points, and nothing annoys me more than when my horse gets stuck on a fence or a tree, and I can't figure out how to go around it. I also would really like to see a co-op mode, either online or in split screen. What did you think of Dynasty Warriors 9? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below or visit us at thegeekiverse.com. For everything video games, PlayStation, and Dynasty Warriors, you're already in the right place. youtube.com/thegeekiverse.